Hey guys, RC here, back with episode 3 of Surviving Mars. So, last episode we had just finished researching decommission protocol, and you can see we have now opened the polymer factory and apartments. So, I'm going to research both of those. In fact, I'm going to do them in that order. Getting a little more expensive. You can see this one's 2,000, but that fits more people, even though it's got less comfort, which is important. This allows us to build polymer factories, which means we don't have to waste the space on a shuttle to bring a prefab if we can learn it before we need it. So, let's get back to this. All right. I kind of like the way this auto transport is looking. I'm just curious if he is going to self-charge or not. Okay. What building is not working? This one. Storage space is full. So it's got 20 out of 20. So let me bring this rover up there. And I'm going to go ahead and put a concrete depot right there. That'll make it easy to get to for them. And I'm going to put another dumping stockpile right there. All right, so the little drones here are working hard. All right. So that's going, and if we look, we're producing 18 concrete a day. We also have 1 metal production. All right, we have a pipe that is malfunctioning. Oh, here it is. You see the water actually sprang out of it. So it takes 1 metal. Here comes our little drone. He picked it up and he will do it. Remember, I also have a mod that makes the repair process go faster. That was pretty quick. Typically in vanilla, 2 to 3 times longer than that at least. At least. All right, so he's down to almost 50%. So I don't know if he's going to self-charge. I'll have to see about that.
I'm gonna hang out with Jordan. I did all my chores. Love you.
Glad you woke up and picked up your brother today.
I'm sorry. I forgot to set my alarm last night. I was too tired. I was out of it last night. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I love you.
Love you too. All right, so what else we got going on up here? Let's take a look, because the dome is our next thing. So we start off with the ability to build a basic dome. It takes 80 concrete, 20 metals, and 10 polymers. So we have 26 polymers on hand. If you look at the toolbar at the top, we've got 122 metals and 80, we've got 65 concrete, but we're going to be continually producing concrete. Now, let's pause it for a second, and I'm going to back out of that. So where would we want to build a dome? All right, so one thing to keep in mind, concrete, water, those things will work autonomously with a extractor. But these rare metal deposits or the metal deposits do take colonists to work. Now, I'm not so worried about the metal right now, and hopefully we find some metal up in this area, but we don't want to run out of money. Now, in this playthrough, we have quite a bit, but you can see we can sell rare metals for 22 million. So let's put a dome up here and just see what that does. All right. Now I can't put it there because of the terrain. Oh, that's too bad. Because if I put it right there, it's possible I could put a mine at the very tip. But no, it will not work there. All right, so that's interesting. That's an interesting formation right there. So there's really nowhere else that I need to build. So I could build right here. And if you're looking at that and you're going, hey, you know, the mine is right at the edge and your drones couldn't reach it. Well, there are no drones attached to the dome itself. But if we also then take a look at our metal, not our metal extractor, our rare metal extractor, we can get that inside the dome. Let's say if I put it right there, and then that's actually inside. So the people can walk to here, work it, and then this is actually close enough to that. Now that's got 314. That's got 356. That's average, and this one's average. I'm thinking I might want to build at this one first. So if we do that, now the thing is, maybe I come farther this way, or maybe I wait. I'm going to wait a little while because I don't need to place it now, and I'd like to see maybe what happens with some of these other zones. In fact, let's do that. And the other thing I want to do here is, did I build a, I have not built. All right, so let's quickly build a sensor tower right there. All right, now one thing about the sensor tower, let's take a quick look. So right now we're scanning this area. Thank you, Siri, for popping on that. If we look here, there's no bonus for analysis speed. I should have built this much earlier, but oh well. So they're going to bring the metal and the electronics there. How's our rocket doing? He's got 30. He's got 0 so far. All right, now, so our sensor tower is up. So let's take a look at the map again. So now look, we've got a 230% speed boost to this zone. The closer you are to the sensor, 378 for that zone, right? So we're going to actually be able to pop those pretty quickly. But you can see it drops quickly. So 67, 10, and then, you know, then you get out to, oh, it's a flat 10% just for having a sensor tower. So we'll be at least 10% everywhere. But as we spread out, we can always plant more sensors farther away. There's also a tech right here that they don't require power or maintenance. So the only thing you have to have is the material, which is going to come from, let's do a sensor tower. How far out can he go? Right to the tip of these rocks, huh? So I don't need power for it. So boom, I'm going to put one right there. All right, oh, and look at that. It's going to go recharge automatically. Hello. All right, I officially love that mod because that's cool. So you can see he was really low on power, charging it back up, and he's going to take off again, so that's cool. All right, here comes our little drone, bringing an electronic. Puts his headlight on because it's nighttime, and there we go. And so now we've got a 20% boost all around, but now you can see we have a pretty good bonus getting even farther out here. So we're going to add those into the queue. And this one, I could actually build another one out there. Now, don't go gung-ho because you got to keep in mind what you've got. But I want to get a few things analyzed so I can determine if there's anything that I want any other better area to build my dome in to start. All right. We've got a malfunctioning pipe right there. He's already working on it, so that's awesome. Oh, we found this sector. So we've got a big chunk of very high grade concrete. All that the grade means is how fast it'll come out of the ground. Very high comes out much faster than very low. So if you have a very high, say, remember we were doing like 20 concrete a day? Well, a very high may give us 30 to 40 a day, whereas an average gives us 20. A low or a very low may only give us 10. So you may have to build more extractors. So that's going to be a good concrete source. There is another anomaly. He is idle, fully charged. So I'm going to send him out there to get that. And we're working here now. Already 15% done. So it won't take long now that we have those trackers up. I could build another fuel depot, but again, I haven't researched it yet. So, it just takes time. Once the rockets are gone, they will start filling up this. And then I also can get a drone hub put up, but I don't want to spend those parts just yet. Now, if I build my dome out here, I probably will. I will set that up quickly. Now you can see we just had that water pipe leak, so we're actually losing water. And it's starting to drain from the reserves. They'll figure that out. All right, let's see. So he's analyzed that. Let's get him back to charge. And, oh, that was a big one. It opened up 5. Look at that. Sustainable architecture, subsurface heating, soil adaptation, productivity training, explorer AI. All right, so sustainable architecture, in-dome buildings require maintenance less often. That's big. It means it'll break down less often, which takes less of our resources to fix it. A farm, you know what? I am going to bump these. And I'm going to put the farm in because farm provides comfort, which is big, but it's also your primary food producer in a dome. What else are we looking at right here? Here's a great one. So I am going to drop that one and I'm going to add that one. So right now we're doing 400 research per day, right? So it takes me 2.5 days to do 1,000 points. Well, for every RC Explorer that I have, it'll add 100. So that'll bring me to 500. So that'll be huge. In fact, I want to do that before I do the soil adaptation because then that'll be done even quicker. Subsurface heating, I really don't need that right now. Productivity training will give boost to performance for engineers and geologists. Fair enough. I think I'm going to go with that for right now. Alrighty. Sector F8 scanned. We found a little bit of surface metal, 13 units, not a lot. So moving on. All right, there we go. We have finished the low G drive, which means that all 3 of my drones and all all 3 of my rovers and then all of my drones move 25% faster. So that's big. And that opened up drone hubs. So I want to add that one because now we can build our own drone hubs without having to rely on prefabs. So that's good. Still trying to figure out what to do dome-wise. Now, the good thing is I've still got 2,790 Mars bucks. So, I've got enough for 2, 3, 4 more rockets. We're getting close to the fuel here to get it back to Earth. so if the big thing when you first start, okay, is to if you do not start with the ability to expose a water resource, then you want to bring a moisture evaporator, because you need that and you need power to generate fuel. And you need the power also to get the concrete running in order to build the wind turbines. So that's kind of your first step, and then you just start expanding from there. Sector D8. All right, we have found some more concrete there. So these two concrete, we found a little bit of surface metal, 22 units, and we have found a new anomaly. So our guy's charged. Let's send him out there to check that out. All right, so he's dumping stuff up here right now, so that's good. We'll take that off. Seven, 8, 9. So I'd like to find an area that we, in building a dome would actually accomplish a couple of things for us. But here's the other thing. We need to start with food production. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do that. We're going to just have a basic dome to start. So I'm going to build this right here. All right, and I'm going to pause this for a second. Now, I saw someone else do this that I watch. You don't have to do it. I just kind of like the way it looks. And, it kind of brings some symmetry all the way around, right? All right, so we're going to also want a Moxie, which will... Oh, you know what? Before I do that... All right, we've got the dome here, there, and there. So again, let me pull up that pipe. On the dome, you see it has the three little pipe icons, and they're on 3 sides. Your piping and your power have to connect to at least one of these. All right, so I've got mine running there. And I'm going to run my power right back along that same path right there. All right. So they'll come clear out some of these rocks, and then they will start bringing the stuff over for the dome. So I need 20 metals, 10 polymers, so I'm okay there. And we have analyzed the core metals. Okay. Let's look what that is. So that's a breakthrough. Now what these are, these metal deposits, the rare metals that we can mine. Well, once we research this, then we will have the ability to expose deep underground that we can't see on our initial scan. And it takes special research to be able to access, to dig those up. And those are farther down in the tree. But that's good. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and add that, because that may be a determination where I want my next dome to go. Okay? Now, this is saying it's too far from drones, which it is. And I do not have a drone hub. Hey, Bill. So I am going to have to bring my RC rover over to here. So he's going to gather up all his 4 little drones. And now he can cover all of this area. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down a universal storage depot right there. this drone hub can reach that, so they will actually try to balance any resources here and split them evenly on both sides. All right, he's done, so let's get him back over here, and we'll put him right there. Eventually, this will all be connected up, and he'll recharge again. This guy, all right, so he's gathering, and it looks like we can actually pop this one, so I'll send him out to do that. It's close enough that I don't need him to be charged up fully. Now, his analyzing does drain his battery a little bit more, but you can see him going down as it's 3% instead of 2% per hour. So, all right, but this is going on. Let's see. I wish he could reach there. But he can. Now what I could also do, all right, so we've learned magnetic extraction, or we've added that. So where is that at? Oh, another breakthrough. There we go. So this gives us an upgrade to it upgrades our extractors, increasing production by 50%. So if you would generate 20 units of metal regularly, now it will produce 30 units for the same thing. That's cool. I'm going to go ahead and do that because we could actually upgrade our water and our any metals as we get going. All right, where is this guy? All right, I'm going to turn his auto gather off. Ooh, hello. Look at that, G7. That's a huge, two big water deposits, and they're average. Well, the big one is average. So that gives us something to work on. All right, you come back over here and charge up, and then I will send you out here. And this unlocks new anomalies. All right, so new anomaly right there. And we also picked up a mine with 497, and it's high quality. You know, that might be the area to go to. I don't know. I'm going to finish this side, and then we'll decide where we want to build our first dome. All right, where are you at? All right, I'm going to turn you off. Now I can control it. So what I want him to do is I want him to gather concrete. All right, so I'm going to set a route. I want you to gather concrete and then unload the concrete there. All right, this rocket is ready to go. You see it's flashing there, so I can click on it and you can see he has his fuel. Double check to make sure everything is emptied. Don't worry about the drones, and we can send him back to Earth. Now the drones, you see this one was one of his. He had 6 of them. Watch what happens. Well, now he's got 8 instead of 4, and he's picked up 2 more as well. So he's up to 6 instead of 4. So that is good. All right, so let's see. Actually, I'm going to take him. I am going to move him to here. Then I'm going to take him and assign him to here. So they're going to now be part of the hub, and then they can start moving some of this stuff around. All right, I'm going to get you up on the pipe just to be there. All right, so we're 31. They've got 20 metals already. he has 45 concrete. So he's bringing that over. All right, there's another milestone for launching a rocket. And he's dumping all the stuff he needs here. Now, we also need some polymers. So now I'm just going to left click to cancel that. And then what I want him to do is let's find some polymers. So we have 24 there and I need 8. All right, so I'm going to have you gather, and this you can load it in a full load, loads of 5. All right, so control left click, so that's 10. And then confirm and exit is the right. And then we're going to, well, I can't tell him to dump it just yet. So he'll go over there and load that up. There's his 10. Now I want you to dump that here. And that should have all of our resources needed for the dome. And there they come. They start scurrying. They've got it. And now they will start building it. If that's, oh, we need one more concrete, which is right there. Boom. And then here they come to build it. The more that are on there working, the faster it goes. Let's take a quick pause. All right. So we've got 2 things here. We've got the key and we have the research. Remember I talked to you about the flask. So we've got a full load here. So I definitely want my guy here to come out and pop the flask first. Here he comes. And here, you know, this shows how far we are into the current research. All right, the dome is up. It does not have oxygen. Fair enough. We knew it would not. All right, so we need to put a moxie. I'm going to put that right there. Actually, let's rotate that and see if I can. Yeah, let's put the moxie right there. I need an oxygen tank. Right there. Let's see what happens here if they've got the materials. All right. Now I could build the water pipe all the way around too, and I may at some point. I just like the way the power grid kind of gives it a defined space, you know. All right, 3 metals, 5 metals. Oh, you know what? You are not doing anything. I'm going to turn your auto gather back on and off you go. All right, so we gained 1,500. That fixed the Explorer AI. Now watch what that did. Now we're getting 400 from our sponsor and that 100. So now we're doing 500 research a day. So now it'll only take 3 days instead of almost 4 days to do that. So that's going to be really good. All right, let's let them finish those. Oh, and I need you to now come over here and unlock that. Still has good power left. All right, so we will. All right, there goes our Moxie. And waiting on one more metal. So now we have oxygen in the dome. And if we look up here, we need 2 oxygen. We're producing 2. We need 1. We're not storing any, but that's what we're building the oxygen tank for. But look what happened. You notice we are down on power. Now, one thing you kind of want to avoid is you don't want all your power in one spot. What happens if a meteor lands right in the middle of that? You're wiped out. All right, so we are going to come down here, and I am going to lay out a power cable there. And there. I don't know if there's an optimal way to do this, but let's zoom in and see if we can figure it out. All right, I'm going to set up you, 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 and you. All right, now we're too far from drones. Oh, that's disappointing. All right, so let's bring you further around. I want to make sure you can reach these. There we go. So you're within range of the depot here for parts, and now you can reach all of those. All right, you're doing fine. You're doing fine. All right, analyzed it. All right, let's get you back over here to charge up, and let's see what happens. So now we have adapted probes and a compact passenger module. All right, there is the compacted passenger module. So now instead of only carrying 12 colonists, we can actually carry 22. That would actually be pretty big, because your very first rocket, you only can bring your initial group, and then you have to wait 10 souls before, and you're always short of workers. So you know what? I'm going to do that. All right, drone hub, magnetic breakthrough, and I think that's going to be big, because that'll help us start with more people. Assuming I can do that. Let's get the power up and running. Let's see. Now we can also research larger domes. And I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and put a cut in here because we're at about 32 minutes. These episodes might be just a smidge longer than normal. Usually I try to cut it at 25 to 28 minutes. It's just these go so fast, and you're trying to do so much. So they may be a smidge longer. I'll try not to do this too often. I just forgot to look at the time. But anyway, what I'll probably do is I'll probably play a little bit before recording the next episode, and that way we kind of get a little further along. Once you actually see this episode and then the next episode, and you can see, you know, that gap, let me know what you think about that, but that'll be, you know, in the next episode. So just let me know in the comments, either here or in that one, if you want those gaps, if you kind of want to see the whole thing, and not skip any time. Anyway, just chime in on that. Leave a like for the video, subscribe to the channel, all that, you know, the YouTube-y stuff. And guys, thanks as always just for checking out my channel. Thanks for hanging out with me. We'll see you next time. Bye now.